And welcome into What the Music. I am extremely excited to have on my next guest, Reno McCarthy, all the way from Quebec. Thank you for coming on. Really, truly.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, truly appreciate it. You are here because I heard your second album, which is going to be out later, and we're previewing some tracks from that album, but it is Run Up the River, and I gotta say, this has to be one of my favorite albums that I've heard so far this year, and I've heard a lot of albums.
Thank you.
It's super vibey.
Wow, thank you.
Yeah, super vibey, super groovy, and this is what I find probably the most remarkable about this album, is that this is your second album. And I mean that in the sense of a lot of times, a lot of artists, they make their second album, but they're in such a rush because they're trying to, strike while the iron is hot, so to speak, and they fail, 9 times out of 10. However, this album is, I got lost in it. I was listening to it.
Wow.
It's like a 34-minute, fun little, I literally got lost. Like, there were times where, I was just, listening to it, and I didn't even know where the time went. So I truly got lost into that. But can you tell me about that process of this album? Were you rushing to get this album out?
No, because it was the first record took so long to come out. It took I finished it about a year and a half before I released it, and the reason for that is I wanted to find the right people to put it out with, and also I did this thing where I went to Florida for 4 days to shoot 3 music videos, and then we went back to Montreal, and then I decided I didn't like any of them. So there was a lot of time involved in releasing the first one, and in that time I had kind of started, thinking about new material. I didn't want to really, I made a point of not recording any new stuff because I didn't want to get ahead of myself and release a record that I was kind of over, the first record. And so, but as soon as that record came out, I kind of just went for it and recorded all of the stuff that had been sort of lingering. So it wasn't rushed. It's the opposite.
I did log on to renomccarthy.com, found it to be rather minimalistic.
Yeah. That's I'm trying something. It's been a week that the site is looks like that. And I don't know, I kind of a month ago, I just had the thought of having the simplest website that just lays it down. I don't know how long it's going to last. I might just switch it back up to something more typical, but check it out while it's there.
Yeah. But you know what? That's okay, because there's some times where a website is just overwhelming, and you can just get lost in that. But, for lack of a better term, you don't need all that pizzazz. Your music just sells itself, and I kind of like that kind of about it.
Also, there's the pizzazz is on all the other platforms, so I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll see how long it lasts.
Yeah, but what's crazy too is I found this album that's going to be out later on, but of course, if you log on to Spotify, you can hear some of the tunes in there, and of course, I get to play some music, which I highly encourage you guys to go check them out. But it's super groovy, that was another part of this album that was I was enchanted by, and
thank you.
I wanted to see if that was part of your makeup, and the reason why I say that is because I know you're an artist and / producer, and is that the producer part in you when you're recording?
I think it's more a part of the kind of stuff I grew up on, and also what my music was like a little, a few sort of years ago or whatever. I studied music also a little bit, and I studied jazz guitar, whatever. I'm not very well versed in jazz, but I kind of, there was a time where I was very much, me and the people around me were really sort of influenced by the very rhythmic, groove-centric elements of music, and I was really into funk. And at that time, I was like, I was kind of known as the guy who could do the chicken thing really well. Like that was my thing. And the first record has a lot of that funky stuff. And I sort of, for this record, moved away from the guitar, and also moved away from the guitar in that more sort of rhythmic way. But it's still the way I hear music. The groove is still really important. So I wanted to maintain it in a way. But I don't think it's like a producer mind thing. I think whatever is right, like for the song, is what's gonna happen. And I like groovy stuff, so that's always an important part for me.
Yeah, and it really sells, your sound that, I'm digging. So that's, I was like, oh man,
I can see.
Yeah. Run Up the River is going to be out at the end of the month, obviously, and I highly encourage people to go check it out, stream it, buy it, rob it, do whatever you can. And make sure for more information, again, log on to renomccarthy.com. But you touched on something a little while ago that I wanted to just explore really quickly. And that was, you are getting older. And with that, do you feel you are changing sonically?
Yes. Yeah. Well, see, I feel like this record now, and also I released a folk EP earlier during lockdown. I feel like those two pieces of music, even to this day, which I mean they've all been completed for a while now, I'm still really like into them and really proud of them, and so I don't know like where it's gonna go, because I feel like when I finished my first record, I was really eager to sort of, I knew where I wanted to go. I was eager to sort of get the floodgates open and start making stuff again. And now I'm kind of working with other people, trying to sort of think about other things than myself. And I'm still really into those records. So to be honest, I don't really know. I don't know. Maybe it's going to be a similar thing sonically, but at the same time, I'm really happy with those records, and I wouldn't want to do another record that's kind of the same but not as good in a way. So I have no clue where it's going. I would think I'm going to go in even more sort of sparse directions, and probably have a little bit of, maybe release more like singles and have some various influences. I don't know what's going to happen, but yeah, it's changing.
Does that excite you, that fear of the unknown?
Yeah, but it's more paralyzing, so I don't think about it. I try not to. I try to just, because I get into this state where I sort of overthink a lot, and I can be like, is this too much? Like, does this sound too much like something I did, or does this sound too different, or what? Like, all of these questions, I feel like I over evaluate new material that I write, and I'm like, is this good, and is this groovy enough? Is this melody catchy enough? And so I find it more paralyzing, which is why I don't think about like the possibilities. I just want to go and press record and be inspired and whatever. That's when it's the best, if I don't think.
You're just in the moment.
Yes.
And
not everybody works like that. That's like, working like as a producer, that's something you kind of learn. There's some people that are much more structural about it, and you really like to think about that and to contemplate all of those decisions, and something you have to adjust to if you're not sort of, as a producer, if you're working for these kinds of people, because usually I'm a go with the flow kind of recording artist, or yeah.
It's really interesting because leading up to this record, I know you spent a few weeks taking pictures for this record with one of the photographers who I would love to say that person's name, but I would probably mess it up.
Yeah, it's Ville de Pluie.
Ville de Pluie, yes.
Yeah.
Hopefully I didn't botch that.
His name is Rain. His last name is Rainville, so it's like Rainville. So it's a pun.
Yeah, but I mean, when you spent a week taking photos, of course, for this record, were you taking photos too, or was he just taking photos of you? Because I think that is one of my biggest challenges. Is whenever somebody says, I want to take a photo of you or let's go collaborate. And to me, my analytical side just takes over. And when a photo is happening, I'm already not living in that moment because I'm thinking, where are my hands? Where, what do my fingers do? You know what I mean? It gets a little too much for me.
There's 700 pictures where I'm like, where the hell, what am I doing with my hands? And then that's fine. There's one picture where I'm not thinking. So.
But do you enjoy that? Do you enjoy just being out and people taking photos? Of course, you trust him, obviously, and that's the most important part in photography. But
I enjoy the process of building a visual identity. I'm a mood board enthusiast. So if either it's a music video or shoot or graphic stuff, whatever, I really enjoy sort of laying down visual ideas and being okay, so this record's going to look like that and feel like that. So I like making it, and I like making, so it doesn't matter if I'm with a friend who's taking my picture, or if I'm taking a picture of a building or whatever. I like the process of building, creating a visual vibe. So that's what I'm focusing on.
Speaking of visual vibes, I got to go check out some of your music videos, and I highly encourage you guys to go check them out. And for more information, again, log on to renomccarthy.com for that, and I'll have links to your YouTube channel as well.
Yes.
But
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. I saw I saw the video for Night Out. I thought it was cool because there's that time where you have, I don't know if it's a light baton or something. You're just
it's a road flare.
Yeah. That I thought that was super cool. And
playing with fire.
Yeah. Well, you're playing with flare, really, but but I thought that was really cool.
A little scary.
Yeah, but for the most part, the one that I saw was For a Moment, which I found ironic because it's the first song off of your album Run Up River, but yet it's released the third or fourth,
right,
as a single. And before we get into the music video, I just thought that was a little ironic where it's the first, but it's really getting released kind of later. I'm sure that wasn't intentional, right?
Well, no, it's there's so many components that go into picking a song and when it's going to come out and the track list that there's a lot of these kinds of sort of happenings that you can't really shoot for. So that's just luck.
But let's talk about For a Moment, and very cool song.
Thank you.
Very cool shoot. And I'm sure you get this a lot, but that Mustang that you are driving, I mean, that's pure raw American power right there. And
right on.
were you nervous driving it? It's a beautiful car.
Yeah, no, well, I thought it was going to be a standard, but it was an automatic when I showed up to okay, so it was actually a real hassle to find a car for this video. I knew I wanted to have a car. I didn't want it to be too much of a feature, but there had to be a cool car. And then I tried to book 10 different cars and everything, just sort of nothing ever worked out. So on the morning of the day where I was picking up the car, I kind of showed up. I was like, is there even going to be a car? Who knows? And then it shows up and yeah. So to answer your question, it was an automatic. And I had been sort of mentally preparing to like be, driving standards, which I haven't done in years. So, so that was right away a pleasant surprise. Unpleasant for the video, but pleasant for the driving experience or the stress of the driving experience. And also it had absolutely no power steering. So it almost felt like reverse power steering. It was like impossible to like parallel park. And yeah, I'm just going through the list now of things that with that car that were, it would only be, you could tell it was only happy when it was like going, and whenever I was like at a stop sign or like a traffic light or something, it would just start to go like, come on, I want to drive. And but then the last thing we did with it was got to drive in sort of on empty country roads near Montreal, and I got to go on the faster side of the meter, and that was nice.
Yeah, truly such a scene for the eyes. Very somatic. I don't even know if that's a word, but I just truly loved the drone visuals of you driving that,
you.
and
I thought it worked.
It worked so well, and then you in the buildings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Very cool, and not only that, but such a great song too. So it all just worked in together. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Truly appreciate it. Again,
very kind.
Yeah, no. I mean, I heard this, and I sent an email out to people, and it was just, I was very excited for what you were doing with this music. And, one of my things is I have to help music. I have to help people like you to reach a much more broader audience, to let them know that there's something super cool out there. And for more information on the coolness that is Reno, make sure to log on to renomccarthy.com for that, just to check on, see whatever else he's up to. I'm interested. I'm invested. And I truly do dig your music. And of course,
thank you. That means a lot.
Yeah. Your album, go. Make sure to check it out. Run Up the River is going to be out at the end of October, but there's tons of material out there which you can check out for the streaming platforms and whatnot. So
and hopefully see you at a show one day.
Yeah, are you coming to America? Are you coming to the States, Los Angeles?
I should do that like in 2022. That'll happen. Yeah. I'll let you know.
Please come to Los Angeles, please.
I'll call you.
Yes, just not on Fridays. Fridays seems to be the one day that I'm always busy, so.
I'll come on like a Monday. How's a Monday?
Mondays are perfect.
Good.
Well, I'll help you schedule your itinerary around my life. That'd be great. But again, thank you so much, for coming on and just being a part of the process. I truly, truly appreciate it. And for more information, if I haven't said it enough, please make sure to log on to renomccarthy.com for any updates. And again, he's on Apple, and on Spotify. So, throw him a few fuzzles, help him out. We need to help artists out. I don't know if you're struggling or not, but it looks like you are. It looks like you lead a bare minimalist life right now.
I look like I'm struggling. Yeah, I just like connecting with people. So, yes, do check it out. Thank you.
No worries. And we're going to leave you with the song that, of course, we talked about, and that's going to be For a Moment. And my guest has been Reno McCarthy. And thanks again for coming on the show. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. Goodbye.